Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zita, and on my channel I share with you DIYs and makeovers on a budget. And don't forget to follow me over on my socials at Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and Etsy. So let's get started on today's DIYs. So today guys, I got 3 decoupage projects for you that I hope you enjoy. And this first one here is this scrap piece of wood that I had that kind of looks like a house. So I thought I'd paint that up and decoupage something on it, and I'm also going to use some IOD stamps. So my first step here is I'm applying some of my homemade white chalk paint, and if you haven't made homemade white chalk paint, I have a video on that, and I'll leave a link for that in my description box. So here are the napkins that I'm going to be using, and I'm taking the 2 plies off here, and I'm using a dental pick that I use for my vinyl as well, and those are really good guys for getting your napkins apart. I just started using that lately on my napkins because sometimes I have trouble getting them apart with my fingers. And you want to make sure all layers are off your napkins. So just make sure you're checking to see if they're 2-ply or 3-ply, and get all those layers off so you just have your top layer left. So right here I'm just using some water and an artist brush to take off the portion of the napkins that I want to use on my scrap piece of wood here. And you don't need to use a lot of water, just a little bit, just enough to get it off. So I kind of took it off in pieces there so I could apply it where I wanted on this house style scrap piece of wood. So once I get everything in place, I'm going to use my Mod Podge, and I like to start from the center out. I find there's less room for mistakes that way. How do you guys apply your Mod Podge? Let me know in the comments. Do you start from the center out, or do you start from one end and then go to the other? I like to do it this way because I find there's less room for wrinkles, but sometimes you're going to get wrinkles no matter what. So once I have my napkins in place and have the Mod Podge down, I'm going to smooth that out with, I have just a thin plastic bag here from the grocery store that you put your vegetables in. That's what I use. You can use saran wrap, just some soft plastic to smooth it out. So here I'm wiping off the excess Mod Podge as best I can with a wet cloth. And I kind of went outside a little bit, but it still looks really good. So I want to put some more of these flowers that are flying off here on the end. It wasn't long enough, so I'm just going to apply it until it goes to the end. Now I'm going to start with these IOD letters, and guys, if you have a new set of these, you're going to want to lightly sand them with a fine sanding block, just so your stamps have some tooth to grab onto the ink. So here I'm just lining up some of my letters, and sometimes I don't have enough letters to spell out the words, so I kind of have to space it out so I can fit the extra letter in there afterwards. Here I'm applying my ink liberally, and then I'm just going to put those words where I want it. And then press firmly, but not too firm where you're squishing the letters, because that sometimes smears the ink. So as you can see here, I don't have enough letters, so I'm kind of spaced it out with this thin mount here that has the grid, so that way you can kind of see how far apart you want your letters and where you need to put those extra letters that you didn't have enough of. So here I'm kind of going a little risky here by applying it one at a time, hoping that I get it lined up. But it worked out well, and I find it kind of went a little darker on the piece as well when I did it one by one. So here I'm putting the next word under that set of words, and I kind of wish I would have put a few of those words differently, and you'll see why after, because it didn't look balanced when I had all the words on there. So you can apply all your words to that thin mount all at once if you'd like, and then just so you can get the the placing of where you want to put all your words on your piece. But I kind of did it line by line because I didn't have enough letters to spell out everything, and I thought it would be easier that way. But in hindsight, I think it would have been easier if I put everything on the thin mount, as many letters as I could at once. And for the word wish here, I used a totally different font from those IOD stamps. So as you see, that wish didn't come out like really clear, so I do go over that with some ink again. And this, like I said, is kind of risky. You got to make sure you're lining everything up right, or else it'll come out that it's kind of gonna look like you got some 2D letters on there. So as you can see here, there's that space after the CA, so I didn't really like how that looks, so I took some more of those flyaways there off the napkin, and I'm gonna put that there, and that's gonna balance out my words. So what do you guys think of this quote? Some see a weed, others see a wish. I love that. I would see a wish. What would you see? Would you see a weed, or would you see a wish? And this napkin is perfect for this saying, so I love it. And if you like these napkins, I'll leave a 10% off coupon code in my description box. I got these at Ninny Napkins. So here I've put the Mod Podge on those extra little flyaways there, and then I'm using my ink to go along the side to kind of give it that kind of distress look. So right there, as you can see, like there's some shiny from the Mod Podge that I put on the napkins that went outside the napkins. So first I'm applying a polyacrylic to it. Now this is supposed to be a flat, but I find sometimes it goes on a little shiny. So after that was dry, I put on this Polyvine wood varnish, and it's in a dead flat is what they call it. So it's going to dry to a matte finish, and you'll see here in the reveal. And Ninny Napkins sells this as well, so that 10% off coupon code you could use to buy some of this for yourself if you want something like really matte. So let me know, guys, in the comments what you think of this beautiful little project and this quote. Next project here, I'm going to be decoupaging this teapot. Now I have decoupaged this before, first when I started out decoupaging, and I didn't really like how it looked, so it was hanging around my place, so I painted over it again. So the paint is not really smooth, so at the end of this project it looks a little wrinkled, but that's okay. I think it still looks beautiful, and I'm keeping it for myself, so something I can put out on my summer patio or wherever I want in my house. So I'm just gonna once again use an artist brush and some water to rip the portion of the napkin that I want to put on my teapot first. And you can do this in pieces if you feel more like it's going to give you more control of like how you want to place your napkins on your piece. But the first piece here I'm going to be pulling apart is quite a larger piece, but I feel more confident in my decoupaging skills these days. I mean, it doesn't always turn out perfect all the time, but you know, when we're crafting, things aren't always perfect sometimes, and that's what makes crafting so beautiful, because it doesn't always have to be perfect. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you're crafting. Don't be too hard on yourself if it doesn't look perfect. As you keep doing your craft more, you're going to get more and more, you know, better at doing whatever craft you're working on, whether it's decoupage or something else. So here I've got my first piece down, starting from the center out, like I said in my other project here. And I'm just applying some Mod Podge on top. A lot of times I will let the layer of Mod Podge I put underneath, I'll let that dry first and then put my top coat of Mod Podge on. So sometimes it just depends on the piece, and other times it depends on how much time I have. So you know, you can experiment and see what way you like to do it, or what works best for you, or what you think like looks the best. Sometimes I find like when you let it dry first before applying your top coat, I think it looks better that way. So there, I'm starting out with the other side and doing the same thing. So guys, if you're a returning viewer here, I thank you so much for coming back again. If you're a new viewer, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I would really like to grow my channel and grow our DIY friends community, so please consider hitting that subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell. That way YouTube will let you know when I'm posting a new video. So I'm continuing on here, doing the handle now, and once again, just applying my Mod Podge underneath and on top, and I'm going to continue doing that all around the teapot, and I also do the top of the teapot as well. So let me know, guys, what you're thinking of this project so far, and let me know what you think of it here in the reveal. Next project, I picked up this frame at a thrift store. It was just like this, just a frame, nothing else. But I thought I could do something with this and put something inside. It has this beautiful design on it. So I'm going to go over that design with some black wax. And I didn't really like how the black wax looked on it, actually. Thought it looked kind of dirty. So I do go over this with a blue and wax afterwards, and you'll see how I make the blue wax. So I apply the wax and then wipe it back, and as you can see there, it kind of looks a little dirty to me. Look, it's looking kind of gray. So here I have some of the, what kind of board is this? Foam board from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put that inside there. And the foam board is white, so I don't have to paint it. I can just decoupage right on top of that. So I just measured out how much I need to cut off here to fit inside, and I needed to turn the frame around to get, you know, the measurement for how big I needed to put inside. So here I'm just measuring it out using a pencil, and then I'm going to use a ruler, and then I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to cut the foam. First I started it with scissors, but it was getting a little chopped up, so I use this X-Acto knife that I had here that I picked up from the dollar store as well. So I'm going to get that cut out, and like I said, I don't have to paint this because it's already white. So I'm going to decoupage some napkin on this, and you'll see this beautiful little napkin. I think I'm going to give this frame to my niece. I have these beautiful little cat napkins that I also picked up from Knitting Napkins. So if you like the napkin that you see, or any that I'm using in these projects today, you can use my 10% off coupon code that I'll put in my description box, that you can get your own napkins for your projects. They have such a big selection, so just go on their website and you'll be looking through for a while, because they have a lot of beautiful napkins. I can get carried away. So right here, like I said, I did not like the black wax, so I had some white wax. I put that in my bowl there, and then I used some turquoise acrylic paint, and I mix it with my wax. So I wanted it to match my napkins that I'm going to put inside there. So I'm putting the blue wax all over the frame on the design. Then the inner part I'm leaving white, and then the most inner part had another kind of little design on it, and you'll see at the end what that looks like. So I'm giving that some blue wax, and then I'm going to wipe that back, and I thought it was looking a little light, so I put another layer of that blue wax on there. So guys, if you want to mix like a different color wax for some of your projects, you can get some white and just put a little bit of paint in it like this, and you're all set. So here's my cat napkins, and again I'm using my dental pick to get my napkins pulled apart. So make sure you get all those plies off, guys, because if you don't and you put that on your project, it's going to bubble up and your napkin may come off. And take it from me, I have done that before, so that's how I know. So don't do that. So as you can see here, when I took off that napkin, you can still see like a slight cat print on there still. So you could use that for some other projects too, like a basket or something, like if you don't want it to, you know, be as bright as this, or you could use it for some tags or something like that. So here I'm lining up my my napkin on that piece of foam board, and cutting it out to fit on there. Now it didn't completely fit on this piece, but once I put it inside the frame, it worked out perfectly. Like, you couldn't see that it didn't fit. Once it was in there, it looked like it fit. So I'm going to be using my Mod Podge here, and once again I'm going to be working from the center out, and you can try this with different techniques. Like I said, you can start from one end and then work your way down, smooth out a little bit, put in some more on. I did it this way, and then I'm smoothing it out with a soft plastic bag. You can use saran wrap, like I said, and I'm using a really soft brush here, guys, to apply my Mod Podge, so there's less room for ripping your napkin. And go light when you're smoothing it out right here, and when you're applying your Mod Podge on top. Now see, this piece right here, I did let the Mod Podge dry before I applied the top coat of Mod Podge. So it just kind of depends on the piece I'm doing, if I will let it dry first or if I will just apply it right afterwards. Because I find sometimes, guys, when you apply your Mod Podge right after you've applied your undercoat of Mod Podge, it kind of makes it more wrinkly, I find. So I find like if you let it dry, there's less room for wrinkles. What do you guys think? Do you have that experience with, you know, doing decoupage? Do you guys let it dry first or no? So So that's what the frame looks like. Isn't that beautiful? So here's, I think the next day I applied my top coat of Mod Podge. And now I'm applying my hot glue inside there, and this project is done and it's beautiful. And I think I'm going to give this, like I said, to my little niece. There's what it looked like before, and here's what it looked like after. Isn't this so cute, guys? I actually love these cats myself. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed these projects today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, and have a great weekend.